Okay, hi. This is the first Curriculum Instruction Committee meeting of the, 18-19 school year, I guess. We'll go around the room. I'm Julia Olafson.
Steve Miller.
Beverly Albright.
Curtis Fleming.
Jenny Markstrom. Michelle Sincere,
Preston McKnight.
Melanie Hefter.
Excellent. And
And Megan Weber's here.
and Megan Webber.
I'm here.
And Megan Webber is here as well. And members of the public. And we have the agenda did not end up on the website. It will by the end of the day today. We only have 4 items on it. We're going to be discussing student handbooks, the summer slide program. We're going to have a presentation on that. Talk a little bit about opening day, and we'll be talking about the AP Equity and Excellence. Mr. McKnight has some brief remarks he wants to make. So start with Dr. Sincere Pino, right, with student handbooks.
Yep, so student handbooks from all of your buildings are on the agenda for the board's consideration. So I don't know if there's anything that any of you wish to highlight as a change from last year, or a change that you made programming-wise, something you think the board needs to look at in specific when they're there, but since you're all here.
Mine is not on the agenda. It will be on the voting meeting. We did not find an editable version, so it slowed us down a bit. But we are not making any major changes. It is essentially given what Mr. Miller and Mrs. Hefter have developed is going to be what we roll out for this year. Then after a year living with it, unless there's anything substantial that there's nothing we saw that was substantial that needed change.
So, for the record, the intermediate center
Correct.
is not going to be voted on
Correct.
tonight. It will be voted on in 2 weeks.
Correct.
But high school, middle school, elementary, primary center will all be ready. Is that okay?
Yep. Ours was just truly a typing and editorial issue rather
Okay.
than anything programmatic.
All right. I didn't see anything when I looked through it that didn't look like it was there was some stuff related to new media at the high school, with the 1-to-1 requirements. Some things related to some of the changes in laws at the state level. Is that correct? That we need to make those changes. So that although if anybody had any questions, feel free. It's not like we can change it back. And just for the record, Mr. Strobel has arrived.
Preston, did you have anything that you
No, there's nothing substantially programmatic that's changed. Minor things, a few added tweaks here and there, but nothing major.
No changes.
None at the primary level.
Mine is just the cell phone policy. It was recommended after we did the drill back
correct.
in the spring that our students at the middle school are permitted to have them on their person but turned off.
Got it.
So, and that was not in the handbook previously, so we just adjusted that.
Okay.
I haven't seen any changes. We can't get the computer right now to look at them. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Excellent. So sorry about that.
The one-on-one changes. Any highlights?
Preston, can
It's
you
not a
highlight?
one-on-one change, it's just that the language that now was not in there before is now there, that we have one-to-one. The issue, I guess most substantially in relationship to what Jenny said is students don't know this yet, but they will the first day, that they're not going to be having their free access to their cell phones in the classroom. They'll be in their pockets because now, the claim was before Steve that they needed to have their phones for research. Okay, well now we have iPads and we have connectivity. So now it'll be, they can still listen to music at lunch, but essentially, so that'll be somewhat of a change for the kids. Kind of unringing the bell, turning it back a page.
Charging the iPads. I've heard rumors.
Yeah, so, and Scott's away this week, but Tracy can speak to it a little bit also as our tech coach now, doing some tech work. But we're going to have a cyber cafe. There will be charging stations in those places. There will be charging opportunities throughout the building, so that will.
But anything like it has to charge 50%
No, because it's not really enforceable, that kind of stuff. To chase that stuff around, tracking it, that they need to be prepared for class. I think Scott says it the best, that this is just a device like anything else. You should come to class prepared. This doesn't really dramatically change that value. So.
Anyone else have any questions? Okay. Thank you, ma'am. And I believe Melanie Hefter is going to talk to us about the Summer Slide program.
I want to thank you again for your support of the Teachers in the Parks program. I think it was a great success at the first year running the program. So I just put a little slideshow together to just talk about our staff. We held it at the Maple Springs pool, so we really wanted to thank the staff there for being there and being available for us to get in the morning. The dates are up there. We met twice in June and then much of July, every Tuesday and Thursday. There was only one day we had bad weather and we had to move it to the school, which I thought was pretty good. 2 hours per day times 12 sessions was 24 hours of instruction that these children received over the summer that targeted their literacy skills. 39 children enrolled for the program. Some of them had vacations, obviously, through that period of time, so some days we didn't have as many, but we created 4 groups for this year. And just to highlight some of the things we did, it was really nice that the teachers were able to select their materials, whatever they thought was important for the children to learn, and we broke them up in groups of K, 1, and 2. So no more than 11 in each group, and the teachers were able to bring nonfiction and fiction stories to the children that they read aloud, that they read together. They answered comprehension questions, so you'll see them passing the ball in the center, had questions on it, so when they caught it, they had to read the question, answer the questions about the books that they read. And you'll see a little round robin there where the children were taking turns reading. They wrote stories, so after they read, the teachers would do an interactive read aloud. The children would write a story about what they wrote about, what they read about. So, for instance, one of the stories was Alexander and the Terrible No Good Very Bad Day. And so then the children took that information, bridged what they knew and their experiences, and then were able to write about that together. And really, it was about having fun. It was about bringing the learning out of the school building, bringing it to the park where they could play games. The teachers are really creative with, you'll see them passing water balloons, but there was always an activity that went around it. So they were practicing sounds, they were practicing words, they were practicing sentences. So it all stemmed around that literacy skill. There were a few highlights that happened while we were there. The children over on the right-hand side, they found a few of the Berks County rocks, and it was after they read that story about the pebble. So it kind of tied right into that. And then they ended up painting some new rocks and dropping them off at the pool. The Wall That Heals arrived at the Dingwood High School so that you can see the kids. We were all chanting and waving as they went by. And I don't know if you can see it, but there's a little lightning bug right down here that one of my friends, Briella, was able to practice reading to. So it doesn't matter who you're practicing reading. The more you practice, the better you get. So she found a friend, and we highlighted that as well. I want to say thank you to the whole Daniel Boone community for the support of the Teachers in the Parks program. The teachers, the children, the parents thoroughly enjoyed the program. This program allowed the children to practice their reading and writing skills throughout the summer months, and I just have all of the thank yous there. First, the school board, thank you for letting me venture into the Teachers in the Parks program, and administration for being supportive of that. The Glazer Foundation, financially, they supported the program, and the BCIU through the Title I grant. The classroom teachers who volunteered to run the program. The Maple Springs pool, I want to thank Mr. Evelyn, who was actually a teacher at the high school, and Austin Peterson, because they were key in the partnership that we created with Maple Springs, and the pool board for being supportive of the program. And of course, Matt Hathaway and his TIPS team for coming out and training the teachers. The future of TIPS, we're thankful for our first year, and with your support, we plan to run the self-funding program again next year. Just some parent comments that I lifted from our Facebook account through the summer. We posted pictures to try and build that momentum so that next year we run the program. We would like more children to obviously sign up. So you can just read some of the highlights. I'll read them to you. Everybody get? And just the last picture of all the kids. This is on our last day. Any questions at all? Thanks. It was like fun. It was great. I even had the opportunity to teach a group. We were down one teacher, so it was a lot of fun.
So I guess by, in a couple weeks, we'll know if at least some of the students benefited, for for the coming school year. Are we thinking that we want to try this again next year, or even to expand it?
Yeah, I would like to. I think that it has the potential for more children, obviously,
Yeah.
to be enrolled. 39, we actually hoped for about 72. So we're about half of where we thought we would be.
Did you have any wait list kids, or did you?
No, we
So
just
so
took
we
whoever-
took whoever. Okay.
Right. We took whoever signed up. So I think because of all the positive messages that we received from
Yeah.
parents, I think it would spread to
Great.
to be able to expand.
Okay. Anybody else have any questions? Thank you so much, and thanks for the update.
Thank you.
And I believe we're going back to Dr. Sincerpino for our opening day, or are we going to someone else?
So opening day is August 21st for teachers. We're in the process of finalizing those plans, just about the time I think we have them finalized. We don't exactly, so.
Right.
Rob and Shelley and I are going to meet tomorrow to kind of finish up finalizing those plans, but we do have Tom Warner coming in. He did some work this summer with our administrative team around special ed and some of the issues that we've been kind of dealing with here. And that was a pretty productive day with all of our administrative team here. And he's coming back on the 21st to do some work with teachers around some of those issues, so kind of to address some of the things that we've collectively talked about, even at this level. So he'll be back for that. The high school has some folks coming in to do some training on not how to use the iPads, we're kind of beyond that at this point, but really how to use them to enhance instruction and really get kids engaged and involved that way. So the SAMR model is the name for that, but really that's what it's about. So that will be there. Principals obviously have some time in their buildings on those days to do what needs to be done at a building level. And teachers have some time to kind of do what they need to do to get ready for kids August 27th.
Okay. My student is a walker, so I don't know where we are transportation-wise. Do we have letters gone out to
No.
parents yet? Okay.
So the deadline for making any more route changes was tonight at 8 o'clock.
Okay.
That information will roll over tonight with the IU's rollover of eSchool and PAC. Principals wanted a day tomorrow to kind of look at that and make sure that it's accurate so that we don't get kind of a repeat of what happened last year where information was not as clean as we would have liked it to have been. So they've asked for a day to kind of take a look at that, make sure they're comfortable with it, that kind of stuff. And we'll be sending Blackboard Connect calls out Wednesday morning. We're going to stagger them so that we don't overwhelm the system. But we're going to send those out and let folks know that HAC is open as of Wednesday morning.
Right.
So student, schedules, bus information, all of that will be open and available by Monday for families.
I've already
Or
gotten.
Wednesday, I'm
Student
sorry.
schedules are already available.
Okay.
It's the bus component will be out.
I've already gotten an email, a reminder email from the whoever takes care of putting money in accounts for lunches, just to remind me to go look at it and make sure there's money there. So I've already gotten that end of things.
So we've been trying pretty hard this summer to be proactive with that transportation piece, both as a scheduling component and then also as just a logistical component. So I think that we've got some things in place that should hopefully smooth things out, and we'll continue to adjust and monitor as we need to.
And can I ask, the last update we had for enrollment was from July. So how many kids do we have enrolled in kindergarten this year?
Melanie, how many kindergarten?
I believe it's 175, somewhere around in there.
How many are in a full day?
Full day right now, I believe I placed 14 in each with one slot available for each classroom.
Okay, so 28, and then the others are, okay, or either AM, PM. Okay.
Yeah, I guess the numbers haven't been updated. I did see, I think it was second grade, there was one class with 29 slotted. Assume that's been changed, or,
29th, I think.
That's not correct.
it was in the spreadsheet.
Yeah, that was at the end, that was the spreadsheet we got at the end of July, so hopefully that's been updated and modified.
I feel like that was probably the type that's
Okay.
like a 9 should have been a 0.
Those-
Just on a-
Those were the only questions. Oh, how's the door situation at the high school?
Yeah, quick update there. I was just over there with Casey. Credit to Casey, he's done an excellent job.
Oh, yeah.
I was a extreme doubter.
Does that mean I'm getting coffee?
I will take care of them when it's done. It's nearly done. But it looks beautiful, guys. You should come in. I mean, the door's cut. Now they'll be putting in, and they actually put in the wooden door. Now the electronics are not hooked up yet.
Okay. Yeah, I drive by
Yeah.
to drop off for band, and I've been seeing the progress, and I saw like a dumpster
He's done
full
an
of stuff, and the door looks nice from the outside.
It
So I
looks
just,
good inside.
Yeah, okay,
I mean,
great.
when I'm sure you walk, you do come through. So
yeah, we will.
Really, he's done a great job. It really looks good.
I know that's kind of scattershot as far as what we wanted to know about for opening day. So if anybody else has any
I just
any
want to share,
questions.
the high school's going to have, and board members, you may get contacted. It's
Okay.
going to be a very unique opening at the high school because the first 2 days are going to be expressly logistic. There will not be academics occurring. And from a teacher request, and this is, if you've been in a classroom, you understand this, that there's consistently disruption all school year. There's class pictures,
Right.
there's help, there's height and weight, and so forth and so on. So we've come up with a couple of ideas, the team, through Scott's department and through the administration and talked with a few teachers where I won't say everything's going to occur in the first 2 days, but most of it's going to occur in the first 2 days. So we will have iPad distribution. We will have, Tracy, am I going to say it right? The iPad Student Institute, which is training.
Right.
Tracy's created a course for kids to go through and an assessment that kids will take during that day. Class pictures will be, not class pictures, student pictures will be those days, height and weight and vision. We also are bringing in the DA, Berks County DA, to talk about cyber safety and cybersecurity, as well as having COCA come in and talk about teens and cyber addiction. So all those things are plugged into those 2 days, and after that we'll be off and running for 178 days, with minimal disruption. I'd say.
Yeah, I will say at the technology committee meeting, Scott had told us about the fact that Picture Day and the iPod handout and the iPad. I know the difference. But and that all of that he had got us up to speed on how that was going to go forward. And then when parents started getting the notices in the mail that Barksdale was ready to start with pictures the first day, I'd been hearing feedback from once people recovered from their shock that this was happening different than it's always happened before. We were able to at least point out that all of this will be happening at the same time, and the fact that kids are already halfway looking decent their first day of school, and so parents seem
come the first day of school.
right. And it
And
seemed the response I've heard from the community was really positive. That this is and once, like I said, once everybody got over feeling that change, I don't like change, that we didn't know everything you just told us, but I had heard some good things, so I'm glad that I'm looking forward to see how it goes.
Cleaner and better going forward.
No, I think it's great.
Worth a shot. That's our mindset.
Did you have any other anything I didn't touch on that you wanted to know about the first couple of days?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. I was asked to please be done by 7, and I'm going to beat that by a lot, so sorry about that. So Mr. McKnight had something to talk to us about. I handed out these, I hope?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
So, good news. It's always nice to start with good news, right?
Right.
To start the school year. So you'll see our AP Equity and Excellence score here. So the graduating class summary, just to paraphrase, is more than a third of our students graduate from this school, from the high school, passing an AP test, which is a terrific number. And then I just included for you behind there each breakdown of each course. So you can see that we have 461 exams for 290 students. We gave 3 years ago, the exam number was 140. So we've had a substantial increase in students into the program. We've also had a lot of success with the kids in the program. And that's a tribute to the teachers. I think sometimes the mindset had been historically around AP, and that's for a certain type of kid. But our students and our teachers have disproven that theory, that it's for many kids, and even students who don't get a 3. There's a huge value in experiencing that kind of a course in terms of preparing you for what it will be like when you go to college. The rigor of those courses kind of is an eye-opener for some students. We have a couple 100% success rates and some 96% success rates, meaning 96 or 100% of the kids pass the test. And we have a couple that we still have to work on. And I will tell you that the two that are most glaring, without calling people out in public, I wouldn't do that, but I will tell you that those teachers are extremely dedicated, and they put in an inordinate amount of work, and nobody's more frustrated than they are that they didn't get the result that they wanted. And we've been working on this solution and this idea. They're very dedicated teachers. We'll get to the bottom, we'll figure it out. We're partnering all through the College Board system to really get to see who is successful and why in those programs. So I don't have any concerns about it at all. Going forward in the future, next year AP Research comes on with AP Computer Science. Tracy's here, she will be teaching that AP Computer Science course. The goal, and this is where we will stop in the future, we'd like to get to 25 AP courses, which would mean adding AP Computer Programming, AP Calculus BC, and then AP either macro or micro economics. But those are conversations for us to have at Curriculum Committee over the next year. I think at that point, and we would be tapped out staff-wise with which we could do anymore. But 25, we went from 13 3 years ago, we're up to 20, we'll be at 22 this year. So it's been a real progressive march forward. Wouldn't be possible without the staff and the students buying in, and it's just been really a fun thing to grow and watch. So, questions?
I can't remember, is this the first seminar, or the
Yes.
second year?
Yeah, first
We
year.
did excellent.
Yes.
Our kids did great, and so, Mrs.
Yeah, so we'll call that teacher out. Yes, Mrs.
Datey
Datey,
came and the kids did a presentation for
You
us.
saw it. They were
They
outstanding
were
presentations.
wonderful.
They really
Yeah.
were strong.
And then that's the one that leads into research that we're offering
Correct.
the first time this year.
Correct.
So this year, research,
And computer science.
are the two new ones.
That's it.
Okay. Yeah, I'm a really strong believer in the AP system. I know it's got its pluses and minuses and its detractors and its proponents, but if we can put some, it does really, especially for kids that so many of them this year. Also, we were able to offer kids dual enrollment as an option as well. So then, especially if some kids did it both, and some kids did only one, AP test or dual enrollment, and so because some schools don't take the AP test scores, but I just think it's been great for the kids that take advantage
I'm
of
a
it.
proponent because we've removed most of the barriers to entry.
Correct.
So now, if you have the will, our teachers will help you get the skill. And, we use that catchphrase a lot. And students, you'd be surprised. We've expanded the program to try and engage students with IEP, and we've created a double-up model to do that. And we're doing some unique and interesting things that way, for the whole breadth of the student population. So it is actually pretty exciting.
Yeah.
We're into this kind of stuff.
It is. I don't know if anybody noticed on the second page, the AP Calc, I think that's the one that we've been offering the longest. Is that correct?
I don't know, it's been out for a long time.
Yeah, and it shows that, we've got a finely tuned machine there, but we also had a kid that took the BC test this year, which that's not even class material that they teach
Yeah,
here.
I was
And
curious about that. There was a one there.
When you see
Yeah.
ones, students are allowed to take the test. Anyone
Yep.
can take the test.
right, but that's not even material
We
that
don't
we
teach that
teach
course. Right.
in a class here, so that's the math department, like taking on, supplementing the standard curriculum with stuff for those kids
You'll see
that are
with
interested
Spanish
in it.
language and culture as well.
And I saw in
Languages, but we offer honors.
And the English
Some kids
language and composition versus literature and composition too. We had one student take that.
So there are kids taking these tests and getting fines without us giving them.
And some kids, as you know, are exceptional kids.
Oh, of course.
They're amazing.
It's wonderful. Anybody else have questions about AP? Okay. Anyone, I know that it was kind of a shortened agenda that Rob put together, and I know he was on vacation for part of last week. So if there, was there anything from the administrators that you had hoped would be on the agenda to discuss?
We asked everyone.
Oh, okay. I wasn't, we were like ships that pass the night, me and
We were
Mr. Hurley.
We all were a little bit, but we're get there.
Excellent, okay. And from the public, is there anything that we need to discuss? Okay, it is 6:30, and we will be adjourned until 7:30 for the committee of the whole.